Back into Unfiltered on this What Movie Wednesday. Want to welcome in our YouTube audience. That's right. When we lose our TV audience, we usually will jump live on YouTube. All right, so we're no longer on NBC Sports Philadelphia for the rest of the show, so we will be live on YouTube for the rest of the show. So you can head over to 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube page, get involved in the YouTube chat. Always miss my YouTube chat. Used to have them every single day when I was doing middays, but now with us being on TV, we're not usually on YouTube. So cool to see a lot of people in the chat. But it is What Movie Wednesday, and we just had your second chance to win. We're doing movies where there's a character who has a temper. Seriously. In honor of our birthday boy, Ricky Bo, who's on vacation this week. Now, this one was a little bit tough because I think a lot of people understood the character was the Incredible Hulk. But he's been in so many movies. Which one was it? It was the original Avengers. The Avengers, the first one. If you got it right, you qualify. We'll announce our winners at the end of the show. If you didn't get it right, don't worry. We got another one coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Did a lot of Phillies to start the show. We got We Hear You coming up this segment at 3:45. Best voice messages of the day. But I want to talk about, and I hate that I even have to keep bringing this guy up, Josh Hart, who's really starting to make me a little upset. He went on again now. You all remember what he said going back, what was it, after they beat the Sixers in the postseason, where Josh Hart says, we're not a sports town, right? Is that what he said? Where Philadelphia is not a true sports town.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Something along those lines. Well, he goes on the Takeoff podcast with our buddy John Clark from NBC Sports Philadelphia, and they ask him again about that. And he's pulling back a little bit, but now he's saying we're nothing but an Eagles town. So listen to Josh Hart.
You didn't think Philly was a sports town anymore. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, I'll say I'm gonna throw it down. I'll say they're an Eagle town. They love the Eagles. I'll say that. I'm not gonna backtrack. I hold true to my words, but I will put a little asterisk and say they're probably one of the best fan bases NFL wise that we have. So they're an NFL town.
All right, I don't disagree with him that we are the best NFL town. We are. Like, you don't disagree with that, Nick. When you look at this city of Philadelphia, I would put up the Eagles fan base up against any NFL fan base in the country.
I agree.
Right? No doubt about it. USA Today, they did a rankings a couple months ago. The Eagles were number one. Eagles fans number one in the NFL. We all agree with that. But where we disagree is that he is ignoring how good of a fan base they are when it comes to the Phillies, the Flyers, and the 76ers. Now, it's easy for him to say that they're not a true basketball city because the Knicks fans did take over the building. I get all of that. But this year especially, where this fan base now is going to have hope again, like, I'm making an excuse for Sixers fans on this. As upsetting as it was to watch Knicks fans take over the arena, especially in Game 4, I'm giving the Sixers fans a little bit of a pass with how beaten down Sixers fans have been over the last 44 damn years. The only season you really had was in 2001 since then, where they go on a run. You've been beaten down year after year after year. You get crushed 2 games in New York, and then you come back and you're looking at the ticket prices and you're like, wait a second. I can go and sell these tickets for like 10 times what I paid for them for this Sixers team that has broken my heart, has been beating me down for the last 40 years. Like, I'm giving the Sixers fans an excuse. But you better believe this year, now that Sixers fans not only have hope again, but have belief in what they're getting from LeBron and Jaylen Brown and hopefully a motivated Joel Embiid, not to mention Maxey, VJ, that bench, Dean Wade, LeBaron Philon Jr., Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I mean, like, this team now, we're excited again. So I think Josh Hart's trolling us a little bit. I get it. We're taking the bait. But I disagree with him. I think this is a great sports town, period. You don't have to qualify it as just being a football town. Not anymore.
I think he's trolling in the sense of when he said it's not a sports town. I think that was more of the troll. But I think he genuinely believes that it is an Eagles town and it's a great NFL town. I think he actually thinks the Sixers fans won't show up. Like, I think he genuinely believes that. I know it's part of the troll, but I think he genuinely believes that it's Eagles town first and then nothing else. I beg to differ. When these teams are going, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers. This team's unbelievable. You saw when the Flyers made the playoffs last year. It was
Let's hit the horn.
Hit it. I mean, you saw this. Come on, John.
Yeah, no, the Flyers fans, you talk about being beaten down. I mean, they were forced to go through rebuild after rebuild, Hextall telling you to be patient, Chuck Fletcher completely decimating the team, Briere coming in and making it very known, hey, we're rebuilding. Flyers fans have put up with a lot, and I think they're, when you talk about some of the best fan bases in the country in terms of the NHL, Flyers fans are up there for sure. Yeah, and you saw how this city rallies behind their hockey team when they have something to cheer for. So, yeah, I think Josh Hart is dead wrong. But let's just look at the Sixers for a second, because Josh Hart is basing it off of what happened in the last series against the Knicks where they took over the building. I don't think you're going to get that this year. Not with LeBron here, not with the excitement. And you know what? You have that clip of Pat Bev. So we all remember Pat Beverly. So Pat Bev was on social yesterday, and he saw what all of us saw. We talked about it on Monday, the video that dropped of LeBron, Maxey, Jaylen Brown all working out together. It got fans excited. It got Pat Bev excited. Listen to this. He's going to talk about that video we watched.
Boy, I just watched that video of Tyrese Maxey, LeBron James, and Jaylen Brown working out. And Chris Johns. Man, it's trouble, man. Belt. Yeah, Philadelphia Belt. They look so... I'm watching the video, like, bro, they look nice. They look so nice. Like, pocket pass to the 3-on-3, one action over here, one action over here. ISO, everybody bodies looks great. Braun still dunk. Hey, man, if we get a little bit of this version with Philly, man, without a doubt.
Get excited. I mean, Pat Bev's all of us, man. He's spot on. Like, you watch that video, and I get it. I mean, we've all been jaded by off-season basketball workout videos. I mean, how many times did it look like Ben Simmons was about to become an absolute stud again? You can't necessarily trust him. But you know what LeBron's capable of, and you know what Jaylen Brown's capable of, and you know what Tyrese Maxey's capable of. And seeing all three of those guys, what looks like they're in tremendous shape, and they're going to be motivated beyond belief. Like, Jaylen Brown's going to have a massive chip on his shoulder after what the Celtics did, right? Joel Embiid, he wasn't in that workout video, but we've seen pictures of him and how good he looks, the shape that he's in. Dude, if Josh Hart wants to keep floating that this is not a basketball town, just wait until this year. Because I think Sixers fans are going to show out in a big way because they finally have something to believe in. They haven't had anything to believe in. We kept waiting. It was the Joel Embiid tease every year. Oh, if he's healthy. This year, there is so much to believe in with this Sixers team. You're going to see how tremendous of a fan base the 76ers are. Yeah, get it going. Get it going, Nikki. Oh, man. When's training camp? What do we got, a month to go? So I know the Flyers start training camp soon. So if you missed it earlier, we got our YouTube audience. September 19th, I'm going to be doing a special broadcast, a Saturday, from the Flyers training facility at training camp. We did it last year. Dude, there was a tremendous turnout last year for Flyers training camp.
That's going to be fun.
I can't imagine this year. I mean, you should have seen the amount of fans who were down at Flyers training camp last year. Now, coming off of the postseason and beating the Penguins in the playoff, like, it's going to be incredible.
There'll be a line out the door, Colarulo.
There was a line out the door last year.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be ridiculous. Down the street, who knows?
So we got that coming up in September. We'll have Sixers training camp coming up in September. And today, Eagles training camp, last day. Today is the last day of training camp. How about that? That flew by. That flew by.
That was fast. The fact that preseason's like going to be over in just a couple of days, training camp's done. Falls upon us, Mr. Colarulo. It's right there. You have all the sports all at once. I mean, come on.
It's going to be crazy. So, yeah, Josh Hart, I saw somebody in the YouTube chat saying, why was Josh Hart even on John Clark's podcast? That's a really good question.
Villanova, dude.
Yeah, what do we care about Villanova for?
I agree.
Right now, I mean.
I know. Where's Brendan Gunn when you need him?
No, like
it's 18 different teams.
Yeah, but right now, who cares about Villanova basketball today? Like, even the biggest Villanova basketball fan, you care about Villanova basketball on August 26th? Like, we're giving away Villanova football tickets today.
That's what you should care about.
$2 beers and $2 hot dogs.
You can't beat that.
The entire first quarter. Dude, you drop $10. You got 5 beers. You drop $10, you got 5 hot dogs. $20, you're getting 5 beers, 5 hot dogs.
That sounds like a night.
And then you got the next 3 quarters to recover.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? Because you do it all in the first quarter. So anyway, The Josh Hart stuff's ridiculous.
He's just the Knicks just overall get on my last nerve. They're everything. Their fans, everything. They just get on my nerve.
Well, I hope we ruin their banner night.
I hope that ring night is one of the worst nights walking out of that building ever.
Yeah, it'd be great. Opening night, Sixers.
Boil it.
Just mop the floor with them. Opening night. It's right around the corner. Also, we know how many games the Sixers got in terms of national broadcasts. Just dropped. The Flyers have announced they have 19 national broadcasts this upcoming season. So they went from 14 last year up to 19 national broadcasts this year. They're going to open their season national television on TNT September 30th against the Penguins. So that's going to be a nationally televised game. Everyone's going to have their eyes on the city of Philadelphia come September. You're going to have the Eagles in full swing. Hopefully you got the Phillies making a postseason run, and you're going to have the Sixers and the Flyers getting ready to kick off their seasons. It should be pretty awesome. But that was Hart on Johnny Clark's pod. So I want to get to this real quick. So you had the Eagles open practice last night, right? The only one of the year. And, of course, Johnny Clark's there because Johnny Clark's everywhere. And he approaches this group, and one of the parents wanted to explain to his children Johnny Airport. The story of Johnny Airport. Here it is.
This guy is Johnny Airport, John Clark. Anytime a guy comes to Philadelphia, this is the guy who's waiting for him at the airport to give him a big high five.
What an introduction. Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Let's grab a picture.
Thank you so much.
I love that John Clark's like, wow, what an introduction. Thanks.
You're
Great to
Johnny
see you.
Airport, man. I mean, hey, that's your thing.
He's a legend, man. Johnny Airport is an absolute legend. Now, Ricky and I went at it because I was calling him Johnny Airports, plural. And he's like, it's not, it's airport. So we actually called John Clark on air to get to the bottom of it. And I got to admit, I was wrong on
You're
this.
wrong.
Johnny Clark said, yes, it's Johnny Airport, singular. And I mean, if he goes to more than one airport, he should be Johnny Airport.
It seems like it's usually Philadelphia International.
I don't know. So there it was. But that was at the open practice for your Eagles. I want to get to that coming up. So if our YouTube audience, if you've never listened to the show before, we do We Hear You, the best voice messages of the show, twice a show, every show, 3:45 and 5:25. So we did a lot of Phillies talk to start the show. So a lot of these voice memos are going to be about the Phillies. And then at 4 o'clock, we're going to change gears a little bit and go heavy Eagles with it being the last day of training camp. But let's get to some of the best voice messages of the show. Hit it, Nicholas.
No. Coach is already elite. He does have some things to work on like anybody does.
You're going to just keep sticking your foot in your mouth. And before you know it, you'll be a single man again.
Yeah, I believe in the fighting Phils. They don't have fighting in their name for nothing.
Wake me up when September ends, because these groups of Phillies players have always disappointed.
We hear ya.
That's right. We hear you coming up. Always brought to you by Rycor Heating and Cooling. If your home's running hot and cold, upgrade to a high-efficiency heat pump system to start saving every month. Schedule your free consultation online at RycorHVAC.com or give them a call, 1-855-MY-RYCOR to upgrade today. Rycor, we know how. What do we got, Nikki?
Hi, what's up, guys? Ada Murphy from Robbinsville, New Jersey. I just want to say, I just hope this Phillies team can turn it around. I believe in them. Do you guys believe? I love you guys. You're my favorite show.
Oh, well, appreciate that. Love you, too. Thanks for listening. I don't want to disappoint him by saying that I don't believe, but I think it's possible. The Phillies possibly could go on a run, all right? They got to get hot at the right time. The starters got to get back to being dominant in Sanchez and Wheeler, and then somehow, some way, an unlikely hero has to come out of the bullpen. Like somebody that we weren't expecting to be absolutely lights out in October can be that baton to Duran. That's why if I was a betting man, I don't bet that the Phillies are going to win the World Series. I think it's a remote possibility, but there's a lot of ifs that have to happen, Nick.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think they're good enough to go on a run and win a World Series. There is no question this team can be good enough to do it. I just don't trust them. I don't trust the spark to last. Like, this spark didn't last. It only went 9 games. You need this to last like a month. I don't know if this team can do it because they're so up and down all the time. However, it did come out just a little bit ago. The Phillies announced Tanner Banks is starting a rehab assignment. If that gives you any hope for the bullpen in the postseason.
Our savior. Now, look, I mean, I'm joking, but Tanner Banks was great last year. He just was nowhere near the same guy this year.
No.
Maybe Tanner Banks comes up out of nowhere, becomes your left arm out of the pen in the 8th inning.
He could be the guy. He could be that spark you were looking for, the surprise that we get in September, October. Maybe it's Tanner.
Naive Nick. That's why I call him.
Oh, come on.
All right, what else we got?
What's up, boys? Wayne, retired Marine, Kissimmee, Florida. This whole Philly season's been a roller coaster ride. You know, it had its ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. We won 9 in a row. Now we lost 2 in a row to a team that got blown out 22-0 and 19-2 respectively. Is it fool's gold, or we're only an average club? Keyword club. I think the Phillies were turning around soon. Hopefully, if they do bring up Nestor Cortez, maybe it might give Zach Wheeler a breather. I just think that he's gassed out a little bit. Same goes for Sanchez. I think he's a little gassed as well. No need to push the panic button, boys. This is not our first rodeo. We'll be fine.
Yeah, look, I'm not hitting the panic button. I mean, mainly because hitting the panic button doesn't really do anything at this point in the season. There's nobody coming to necessarily save this team. Nasty Nestor Cortez, I mean, I can't look at him as a savior. Does he come up and maybe provide a little depth? I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen the guy.
He's got to ramp up in single A.
We haven't even seen him pitch yet. Like, no one knows what he's got.
I don't know why they signed him, to be honest.
I don't get it. But I'm not going to hit the panic button. I'm just trying to look at reality, that when you look at the state of the bullpen, that's what's holding me back from jumping in. The lineup, we've seen what they could do. I mean, this lineup, yeah, it could be deep. If Turner, I think he should be moved out of the 2-hole, but if Turner gets going and Schwarber's hot and Harper continues to do what he's doing and Luis Arias just does what he's done his entire career, and now you got Alec Boehm heating up. You got Bryson Stott heating up. Justin Crawford, man, did a really good August right now from the rookie. So, like, yeah, you got enough in your lineup. For me, though, in the postseason, I think it's unlikely that they're going to blow teams out. You're going to be in very close games. There's going to be a very small margin for error. You saw it last year against the Dodgers. And if you don't have bullpen arms that you can trust, that's why I'm having a hard time believing in the team. You can't have an outing like Kerkering did last night. You can't have an outing like Alvarado has had far too often over the last few weeks. Like, that's where I'm reluctant to jump in on the team.
And I go back to what Charlotte said. Like, if they're in a wild card series, right? Let's say they just get the wild card. They don't win the division. They got to play the Cubs or somebody. Sanchez, Wheeler are probably your first 2 guys to start that series. You're going to have to bring Jesus Luzardo in at some point if you're in trouble, right? Because then you maybe trust Nola as that 3rd guy, right?
Because it's do or die at that point.
It's do or die. So you have to bring Luzardo in. Somebody, Painter. Are you going to trust Painter in a do or die situation? So I think she actually makes a great point there. If they're struggling in that early series, in a wild card series, yeah, you might have to burn Luzardo early on. Now she's got me thinking I'm going to freak out now.
It's a good point, man. Yeah, if you missed it, Charlotte Barnes of The Athletic joined us from Seattle at 3 o'clock. And I asked her who she could see going to the bullpen. And I said Nola or Painter, and she said Luzardo. Because she might be right. I mean, if you lose game 1, right, and it's a 3-game series, you gotta. It's desperate times in game 2.
Remember, Nola has pitched in clinching games before, whether it's the division or in the postseason. So they might say, we're getting a lot out of Nola right now. He's humming. We can trust him.
And then you burn Luzardo from the pen.
Yeah.
First, you got to get there, though.
You got to get there.
No guarantees just yet. All right, keep them rolling.
Hi, Bud Manning from Dover, Delaware. I think that right now, Luzardo is the most dependable pitcher the Phillies have. Not even Sanchez right now. That's just my opinion. Wheeler will come back. He will be top come the end of the season, when once the playoffs begin. He will be a top form. And Nola, he's starting to be dependable. They're just not hitting for him. Painter, if he's going to be pitching like he pitched the last game, he's going to be one of the top aces in the Phillies. Let's hope he is.
My man, Bud. I don't think I've heard from Bud from Delaware in a while.
Great memo.
Appreciate you checking in there, Bud. Here's the crazy thing. You and I were just talking about Luzardo and how Charlotte said maybe he has to go to the pen, and Bud's saying he's the guy you trust the most, and he's not wrong. You look at the numbers. The team is 14-2 in Luzardo's last 16 starts. Let's hope they can keep that rolling today. But if you're going to move him to the pen, you're taking your most trusted starter right now, and you got to move him to the bullpen. There's a lot of question marks come October. There really is.
Can I tell you how much we miss Ranger Suarez at this point?
Oh, there's a lot of fans that are going to agree with you on that.
I'm just saying, like, I know he costs a lot throughout the offseason.
They couldn't keep him, though.
I know. He costs too much. He got a lot of money in Boston. I know.
But I love to rip Dombrowski when I can. I love ripping Dombrowski when I can because I'm not a huge fan of the work that he's done here. But I give him a pass on the Ranger Suarez thing because what was the alternative?
I know.
If you would have signed him, then you're not bringing Painter up.
They were relying on Painter. That was the whole thing. They were relying on Painter to be the guy to replace Suarez, and he hasn't really been that guy. Lately, he's been better, but...
Yeah, man, I don't know. How did we get here? Monday, we were flying high with the Phils after a 9-game winning streak, and now they've lost 2 in a row, and all the problems that were still there are just like blowing up in our face. But the Trey Turner one's another one. A lot of people are upset they're not moving him in the lineup. All right, let's get a last one in. We got one more memo?
Let's put it 2-1-5. You know what? I'm keeping my faith. I am not concerned about Phillies right now. I mean, yeah, they lost 2 straight, though, but at the end of the day, the end of the season, they're going to be in the playoffs. So, man, I'm not concerned about the strength of schedule. I think the Phillies will be all right. I'm just a big believer.
Yeah, Philly 2-1-5. Appreciate it, man. Look, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I do. I believe the team is good enough to make the postseason. But when you say you're not worried about the strength of schedule, it's not going to be easy. You start a 9-game West Coast trip, and you've already lost 2 of the first 2 games. You can't get swept today. Then you go to the Angels in Anaheim. You have to win that series because after that, things are going to get tough. You go to Arizona. Arizona is fighting for their playoff lives. Then you got 7 games coming up against the Atlanta Braves. 7 out of their 10 games after the Diamondbacks are against the Atlanta Braves. This thing could go south fast. And then don't they have the Brewers as well in September, right?
They have the Brewers, they have the Rays, they have the Atlanta Braves 7 times during the month of September. I mean, this is not an easy month. It's just not. I think they're going to make the postseason. That's not my beef. It's when they get there. What type of baseball are they playing?
But now, hold on. When they get the Rays the last games of the season, will the Rays have already been locked in to where they're going to be, or are they going to have something to play for?
I don't think it really matters. I don't think it matters because it's such a tough stretch. And Tampa Bay, I mean, they're still going to be a good team at the end of the year. Baseball's a little different.
Well, Tampa's running away with the number 1 seed in the AL. So, right, aren't they? They're way ahead of the White Sox and the Astros. But what about their own division? Where are they in their own division? They're 4 up on the Yankees.
So they're like where the Braves are with the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that the Rays you're not going to probably face their best pitchers in that series, which could be a benefit. If it comes down to the last series, the Phillies, at least, you're not worried about the Rays giving it their all. Like, you're not going to probably face their best starters, their best bullpen arms. They're probably going to be resting some guys.
You'd think. You'd hope. It's a month of baseball left. Funny game, Bill. It's fun. What I tell you before, it's a funny game.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come down to the last week. All right, that's We Hear You. We're going to do it again at 5:25. We do it twice a show, every show. But we're also going to switch gears and talk about the Eagles. And last night, open practice. Today, last training camp practice. Let's quickly check the Twitter poll, and then we're really going to dive deeper into it coming up next. Twitter poll, always standing strong thanks to Dr. Avi Don-Appel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. We know the Eagles are rolling out an entirely new offense. There's going to be growing pains. Are you willing to accept those growing pains with the Eagles offense to start the season? What do we got, Nikki?
All right. Will you accept some growing pains from the Eagles offense to start the season? Right now, yes is at 77% and no is at 23%.
All right, 77% of people seem to be on the right side of this. Let's really break it down. We'll talk about what happened at the Eagles open practice, some good, some bad. We'll get into should you accept the growing pains. Believe it or not, LaShawn McCoy with a great point last night on his Speakeasy podcast. We got that coming up and another What Movie Wednesday. Keep it here. Unfiltered continues. 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A new stadium soon? I'm Nick Earnshaw with your Fanatic Sports Update. The buzz surrounding the Eagles stadium situation is back to the forefront of the conversation as a notable name spoke about it at the open practice last night.
Well, look, I appreciate the way Don and Jeffrey and the entire franchise are thinking really critically about what they want for the future of a home for the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's what I can tell you for sure, it's going to be in the city of Philadelphia.
That was Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro as he had some thoughts of the future of the Eagles Stadium, audio courtesy of CBS Philly. The 76ers buzz continues as fans go down to the Xfinity Mobile Arena for the second day in a row until 6 p.m. to get their new gear. It has been a madhouse around there. Also, Tanner Banks will be starting a rehab assignment for the Phillies. This update is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm. Sleep falling short? Visit Mattress Firm today. Their sleep experts will find you the right bed at an unbeatable price during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy. I'm Nick Earnshaw, and here on the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
little after 4 o'clock here on this What Movie Wednesday. We got another chance coming up for you to win this segment. Did a lot of Phillies talk to start the show, but I want to switch gears and talk about our Philadelphia Eagles. Because they had their only open practice of the year last night, and they had their last training camp practice today. And I got to be honest with you, I'm really getting tired of the overreactions to the growing pains with this Eagles offense. I mean, first of all, we're talking about training camp. The whole purpose of practice and training camp is for you to figure things out. You're going to have problems. You're going to make mistakes, even if you're coming back with the same offense. But this team is doing exactly what most people wanted to see them do, which is you had to evolve. It wasn't going to work anymore to run a similar style of offense that you've ran over the last couple of seasons. It became stagnant. We saw it too many times last season that you can't go halves of football without completing a pass. You can't be running the same conservative style of offense and expect to get the results that you've gotten in the first 5 years of Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. It was a great 5 years. But you had to evolve. And the Eagles did that by bringing in Sean Mannion, which was a brand new style of offense that we've never seen Jalen Hurts run. A lot of under center, a lot of play action, a lot of pre-snap motion. But I don't even want to make this just about Jalen Hurts. They also moved on from Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland decided to retire. They brought in a brand new offensive line coach. They brought in a brand new run game coordinator. There are so many things that have changed with this offense that there's going to be growing pains. And I don't think that it's a big portion of the fan base. I think it's more certain members of the media that are pushing this narrative that the offense looks terrible and we should be sounding the alarms on the offense when we're talking about training camp. And it's not everybody in the media. It's not everyone that covers this team. It's a certain group of media members who are doing it because it helps create a narrative that drives engagement, that drives clicks, that drives phone calls. Has there been up and down moments? Of course. It's what you would expect with all of the changes that we've seen. And last night you saw a lot of this as well. At the open practice, there was a lot of good from Jalen Hurts. There was a lot of bad from Jalen Hurts. There was some really good things with the offense. Hell, I got excited when I saw video circulating of a touchdown pass to Mekhi Lemon as a wide receiver who started in the backfield. Did you see that?
Oh, that was unbelievable. That got me fired up. Like, okay, there are some signs here about an offense that's going to look a little different, a little more creative, Bill.
Yeah, that was some creativity. And then, look, the other issue in all of this is not only are the Philadelphia Eagles rolling out a new offense that they've never ran before, they're going up against arguably one of the top defenses in the league. Like, you could look at this one of two ways. You could look at it as, oh, my God, we have to sound the alarm on the offense. Or it could be like, wait a second. This defense is going to be damn good. Like, this defense might be number one in the entire National Football League. They're coming off back-to-back seasons where they were top 5 in points against. You could make the case this year's defense might be even better. And the reason why is a guy who was on full display last night. Did you see how good Tariq Woolen looked last night? He was all over the field. He gets a pick 6 off of Jalen Hurts. Now you're going to have a secondary that has Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Tariq Woolen in it. And if you talk to anybody that covers this team, with what Jalix Hunt's been doing on the edge, you know what Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis can do. Maro Ajomo in a contract year, super motivated. He's had 2 strong seasons. He might have a career year. This defense can be scary. And we didn't even talk about Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell. Hell, even if Jeremiah Trotter gets in there, you feel comfortable with the way the linebacker group is. So I think you got to take everything with a grain of salt when you're looking at an offense that is doing things entirely different than they've ever done it. And they're also going up against a top defense in the Eagles, even joint practices. The New England Patriots have a top defense in the NFL. So I just feel like we got to be a little bit patient here. And when the season starts, Nick, there's probably going to be some growing pains over the first few weeks. Like, we have to accept that as a fan base It's not how you start. It's how you finish. And when you're going to be doing things, Sean Mannion's never called plays before. So, like, even if they install the new offense and everybody's firing on all cylinders, I'm also expecting some head-scratching play calls at times because Sean Mannion's never done it. He's got to get a feel for the game as well.
Well, I think you should, just in general, first 4 weeks of the NFL season in today's day and age, that's preseason. That's preseason for the starters, essentially, because so many of them do not play in the preseason. So that's first and foremost. I'm already giving them a couple of weeks to get acclimated to everything. But it's always just a shot to take at QB1, right? He's throwing picks. He looks terrible. The offense, blah, blah, blah. They're turning the ball over. Well, they're working on timing. They're working on new concepts, etc. I don't care that he threw an interception or a couple in practice. It is practice and training camp. As long as he's not doing it in the game, play it. You got to play it.
Talking about practice.
Yeah, it's practice. Who cares? Who cares? They're going to get on the same page at some point. It's going to take a little bit of time. That goes to our poll question today. Like, you got to give them a couple weeks to get ready. But I'm not going to freak out over a couple of turnovers in practice and in training camp. It's August. We can't get upset over a couple of joint practices, a couple of practices where he threw some picks. You can't.
I agree with you, but people are. And
I know, and it's crazy to me.
And listen, I've always talked about Jalen Hurts, that I think the narrative's broken. I want to change the way we evaluate QB1 in this town. I don't think it has to be an extreme one way or another. But what's happened now is you're right. When you're rolling out this new offense and Jalen Hurts throws an interception in practice, the people who are anti-Hurts, the people who love to bring up Jalen Hurts because it does move the needle in terms of engagement and phone calls, are going to point to all of the negative things that he does, right? That's just what they're going to do. But then now what happens is, to counterbalance that, and this is why the conversation is freaking broken about Jalen Hurts, to counterbalance the negativity, the people on the other side of the aisle have to go over the top in their positivity and their praise. And I want there to be an objective area in the middle where you could acknowledge the things that he does extremely well, but then also talk about some of the things that maybe he needs to grow and evolve with. But what's frustrating me in this situation is that Jalen Hurts is doing everything we wanted him to do in embracing a new style of offense. Like, one of the knocks on Jalen Hurts that I have heard, even coming out of the Eagles facility over the years, is that Jalen has been reluctant to certain things, right? He has been reluctant to change certain styles of plays and offenses and under center and play action and all those things that they want to implement now. But I keep going back to the Tim McManus article, and Timmy Mack from ESPN is going to join me tomorrow at 3 o'clock to break down everything going on with the Birds. But I keep going back to that article that a lot of people said was a hit piece on Jalen Hurts. And if you really read it, it wasn't. One of the things he said in there was, people with the Eagles have said this is the most willing to change Jalen Hurts has ever been. He's showing a willingness to change. It's exactly what we all wanted. And now that he's doing it, and he's taken some risks in practice, and he's growing and evolving and learning a new offense, now the same people who wanted him to change, who used that against him, are now going to use some of the growing pains against him. It's like, come on, man. Like, just call it fair. That's all I want. Just be objective, call it fair. And LaShawn McCoy, of all people, who's on with Emmanuel Acho. I mean, these two sometimes say the most ridiculous things. He's on the Speakeasy podcast last night, and LaShawn McCoy saying it too. Like, what are you doing when it comes to Jalen Hurts? Listen to McCoy.
Under a microscope on everything he does. He don't get in trouble off the field. He don't do nothing wrong. He may give you catchy press conference, sayings. Other than that, all he does is win. Yeah. This is practice. He's trying to get his timing down. He's throwing an out route to his receiver and they got picked off. Okay, cool. We move on. You learn from it.
I mean, Shady's spot on. I can't believe I'm saying this because sometimes Shady says ridiculous stuff. But he is spot on. It is practice. I can't take it, but I'm so happy that our Twitter poll today has been, are you willing to accept growing pains? And, it's overwhelming, yes. So what you're hearing is a vocal minority of people who are overreacting. Like, I swear to God, I think I saw on Twitter, it was either yesterday or the day before, WIP put up a freaking poll asking if you're sounding the alarms on the Eagles offense. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Half of those people on WIP haven't even seen the damn offense. Like, they're relying on what they're being told by one reporter down at practice, and we're sounding the damn alarms on the offense. Like, this is where the media gets a bad rap in the city sometimes, is just be genuine. Just call it like you see it. You're asking a team with a brand new offensive line coach, a new run game coordinator, a new offensive coordinator. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Sounding the alarms before they even got out of training camp. Today's the last day of training camp. They haven't even had their last preseason game, and people are talking about sounding the alarms. Because I got news for you. Get used to it. I don't expect week 1, week 2, week 3, probably not even week 4, for this to be a seamless operation. You are going to have growing pains with a new offense. I'm here for it. I'm signing up for it. It's exactly what this team needed. They had to evolve the offense to get where we all want them to get, which is back to a Super Bowl. So now don't start the negativity because they're doing exactly what they needed to do that we all wanted them to do. Get me all worked up, Nick.
Yeah, well, you're right. Because, I mean, you have people in the media at the other station just doing this dumb stuff of talking, keeping stats during training camp and all this and following. Are we going to give up to him because Jalen threw an interception in practice? I mean, it can't get more ridiculous than that. It's practice. It's to get better, to prepare you for the game and get your timing down, like McCoy was talking about. Like, it is just so over the top. And for the Birds, this is a team that has made the playoffs how many years in a row? The offense became stagnant. They needed to change something up. They needed a different voice. They needed a different play caller. You also have Jalen willing to change and evolve himself because there's so much tape on him and the way the offense has been run over the course of the past couple of years. So, yeah, it's the NFL. Not for long. You're going to catch up at some point. But I can't get on board with critiquing every little thing in training camp. It's practice. That's why it's training camp. You're preparing for the season. I'm not going to dive into all the X's and O's right now and just be on the side of, well, Jalen stinks. He's throwing, the offense looks terrible. It's practice. Yeah, it's brand new. It's brand new.
Oh, yeah, and look, when we talk about it's great.
Both fired up, by the way.
Yeah, we are. It's just I'm over it, and I'm also predicting what's going to happen the first couple of weeks of the season. Like this, when the offense doesn't look perfect, like I expect them to be good. Like I think the offense is going to be good. I think as long as the offensive line is good. Like I said this yesterday, we are so hyper focused on Jalen Hurts and Sean Mannion and A.J. Brown leaving. Is the wide receiver room going to be good enough? Everybody's ignoring the biggest question facing the Eagles' offense. It's none of those things. It's Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson in the interior of the offensive line. They have to be healthy. They have to get back to being dominant. Nothing else will matter. I don't care how good Mannion is. I don't care how much Jalen Hurts evolves to the Sean Mannion style of offense. If you don't have Jurgens and Dickerson healthy in the middle of the offensive line, it's not going to matter.
Can I add this to your point, Bill? Because if your offensive line's not healthy, when you're learning a new offense, your timing is going to be so impeccable, especially we've heard evil genius, creativity. You saw Mekhi Lemon come out of the backfield, catch a pass, score a touchdown last night. You can't have those guys in and out when you're installing a new offense and the timing be off, and that creates penalties, etc. Those guys need to play as a cohesive unit and be on the field. They have to because of the new offense.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. So, look, there's a lot of storylines. Today's the last day of training camp, but I do want to hear from fans on this. Are you willing to accept some growing pains with the offense to start the season? And I'm not talking about right now. It's training camp. It's practice. When the season starts, assuming that the offense doesn't come out firing on all cylinders, are you willing to accept those growing pains? Are you willing to be patient? Because I know I am. I am willing to be patient. This is what I wanted. I wanted to see massive change to the offense. Are you willing to accept those growing pains? 3 ways to get involved on the show, same number across the board. You can send your texts and your voice memos to the Davis Honda text line. We hear you coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, or do it the old-fashioned way. Pick up the phone and call. Would love to talk to you, same number across the board, 610-632-0975. We're going to continue the Eagles conversation, but it is What Movie Wednesday. If you missed it, we're giving away four packs of tickets to Villanova versus William & Mary on Saturday night at Villanova Stadium. But here's the best part. $2 beers, $2 hot dogs through the end of the first quarter. All right, so you can win them on What Movie Wednesday. You could also buy tickets at villanova.com. It's Ricky Bo's birthday today. Ricky Bo is off. But anybody who knows Ricky Bo knows he's got a little bit of a temper. Angry Ricky shows every once in a while. No. So we're doing movies where there's a character who's a little bit of a hothead, similar to our man Ricky Bo, our birthday boy. If you've never played along, we're going to play a clip of a movie. If you know it, all you got to do is text it to the Davis Honda text line. Here we go.
To be continued. Oh! No! You don't get to touch me. Ever.
Okay, Romeo. Let me help you up.
Get off of me! Don't you touch me!
It is over between us, Kate. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody!
Text the name of the movie, 610-632-0975. Coming up, we're going to keep it on the Eagles. We just talked a lot about the offense. I said, how good could this defense be? Well, they might have to do it without Jonathan Grenard for a little longer than we thought. Adam Schefter weighed in this morning on the Marks and Salciunas morning show about what's going on with Grenard. We'll get to that coming up next. Keep it here. Unfiltered, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A new stadium for the Birds soon? I'm Nick Earnshaw with your Fanatic Sports Update. The buzz surrounding the Eagles stadium situation is back to the forefront of conversation as a notable name spoke about it at the open practice just last night.
Well, look, I appreciate the way Don and Jeffrey and the entire franchise are thinking really critically about what they want for the future of a home for the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's what I can tell you for sure, it's going to be in the city of Philadelphia.
That was Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro as he had some thoughts on the future of where the Eagles play. That audio courtesy of CBS Philly. The 76ers buzz continues as fans have been able to go down to Xfinity Mobile Arena for the second day in a row until 6 p.m. to get their new gear. That is once again today as well. And also Tanner Banks has been sent down for a rehab assignment as he works his way back from injury. This update is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Nick Earnshaw on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Sean
Dodgeball. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. What's his name? Ben Stiller's character in that movie? Do you remember?
Blanking.
Yeah, you are blanking because he's the hothead. We're doing movies that have a hothead character in honor of our birthday boy, Ricky Pitalico. Yeah, look that up. Let me know who that was. But if you got it right, you qualify. Dodgeball was the answer.
White Goodman.
White Goodman. There it is. We'll have one more for you coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. All right, I want to talk about the Eagles. We were just saying how you shouldn't be overreacting to what's going on in practice in terms of the offense. And part of the reason why I don't think you should be overreacting is because of how good that defense is for your Eagles. Like, you're asking the Eagles to not only install a new offense, you're asking them to do it against the defense that I think could be the number one defense in the NFL this year. Like, that's how good they could be. You're already talking about a defense that last year, number 5 in points against, and the year before, number 2 in points against. 2 years ago, not only were they number 2 in points against, they were number 1 in yards against. Like, this defense, we know how good Vic Fangio is, but now you've added Tariq Woolen, who had a great night last night at practice, and you still have Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. You still have Zach Bond, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Everyone's been saying Jalix Hunt, who was coming on strong last year, has looked tremendous in training camp this season. So there's a lot to like about the defense. But the one negative with this defense is your big edge rusher acquisition that you traded for was Jonathan Grenard, and you were really hoping he was going to step in and certainly not only add depth to your edge, but be your number 1 edge rusher to pair with Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith. Grenard has not practiced because of a chest injury he had in the weight room. Well, Adam Schefter was on with the boys this morning, Johnny Marks, Andrew Salciunas, our new morning show, Marks and Salciunas, and they said, is there any chance Grenard would be ready for week 1? Here's Shefty.
Look, he had a pec injury. He hasn't practiced. The start of the season's in jeopardy. I don't know how to make it more dangerous than that. Like, that's enough right there. You know, I don't know whether he misses 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 week. I don't know. They don't know. It depends on how he's feeling. Again, I think that the start of the season is in jeopardy. That's fair to say. My guess is he's not going to play week 1. But let's see if he recovers. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, now I wonder what we got to look for now is when they cut down to the final 53, which is why. Is that next week? When do they have to cut down the final 53? Because they got their last preseason game Friday night. Training camp's over. So they'll have to get down to 53. Nick's looking that up. I wonder if they'll put Grenard on the pup
Sunday
list.
by 6 p.m.
This Sunday.
Correct.
All right, so this Sunday you got to get down to 53. I wonder if Grenard starts the season on the pup list. And if he does, he's got to miss what, the first 4 weeks?
Yes.
That would be, I mean, the guy hasn't practiced. That'll be telling. If he doesn't start the season on the pup list, then it's all right. They expect him to come back within the first 4 weeks. If not, yeah, he's going to miss at least 4. I wouldn't be shocked with him not practicing. And you're talking about a pec, so it's hard for him to stay strong. Like, you can't do much when you have a pectoral injury. You could stay in shape in terms of running and all that. But as far as strength and upper body strength, what can he do?
Yeah, and it's a brand new team for him. Vic Fangio. I don't know what he's going to give you when he comes back. He's going to also take time to get acclimated. He could have been our poll question today, Colarulo, because you don't know how long it's going to take him to get back up to speed, right? Like, when is he going to be able to come back? He's got to miss the first 4 weeks, which we're giving the grace period for the offense. We got to give him a grace period extending into halfway through the season, it's looking like, right?
No, it's a good question, man. Like, yeah, how patient before Jonathan Grenard gets rolling? See, now, what's going to be a big, big factor for this team is going to be what you get from Nolan Smith, right? Because, I mean, a lot of people are saying Jalix Hunt primed for a breakout year. I mean, what this guy's been able to do, a safety at Cornell, and then he goes to, Houston Christian, and his rookie year, he's contributing in the Super Bowl, and then last year you saw flashes. Jalix Hunt, I'm expecting a monster season from. But on the opposite side of that, Nolan Smith, it's an interesting one because they did exercise his 5th-year option. So you got him under contract for next year as well. But he was eligible for his big contract. The same one that Jalen Carter got, they were drafted in the same draft, remember. Carter, they took 9th overall. Nolan Smith fell to them at 30. They could have given Nolan Smith a big contract. He just hasn't earned it yet. Now, they gave him the 5th-year option. But this is a big season for Nolan Smith because you figure if he has a good year, he's going to want a contract extension in the offseason, and I'm sure the Eagles will want to give it to him lock him up sooner rather than later. If not, if he doesn't have a big season, he comes back on his fifth-year option, the last year of his deal. I mean, that's when you start worrying about, do they try to trade him? Like, this is a big, big crossroads for Nolan Smith.
Well, you also got to decide who are you giving contracts to. I mean, you got Coop coming up. You got Quignon coming up. I mean, you just gave Carter, Jordan Davis. You gave those guys contract. You can't pay everybody.
No, you can't.
You know what I mean? Like, is
that's-
Nolan Smith going to be the odd guy out if he doesn't have that, like, superstar level type of season?
It's an interesting question. Nolan Smith, not only for the Eagles, needs to be good. He needs to be good for himself.
I've gotten 2 good questions out of you today, by the way.
Did
we'll
you?
keep it score.
If
yeah.
we were playing good question.
If we were playing good question, I've gotten 2.
You'd be dominating on the midday show.
I'd be on fire today.
With good question. I know, it's funny. I hear them now. I had DeCecco on yesterday, and I asked him something. He's like, that's a great question, Bill. And I'm like, oh, man, that would have been 2 points on the midday show.
Yeah, I got a couple today from you.
2 points on the midday show. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Nolan Smith, but I think that's someone I'm watching very closely to start the year. Because if he has the monster season, you're right, could result in a huge payday for him. And I would think it would be here. I think Howie Roseman would figure out a way to get all these guys locked up on the defensive side of the football. And the way it's going to be, you're going to start to see some tough decisions on offense. We've talked about this a lot over the last couple of years, that you're going to see the natural progression. They had a lot of money on offense, a lot of rookie contracts on defense. You're going to have to start to see that flip. I mean, that's part of the reason, as frustrating as it was that A.J. Brown gets traded, you are going to have to start getting younger and relying on guys on rookie deals. Like Mekhi Lemon has to work out. If Lane Johnson retires, Markel Bell has to work out. Eventually, you're going to have to start getting younger rookie deal contracts on offense so that you can afford to pay all these guys on defense.
But that's how they won the last Super Bowl. Because they had all those rookies pan out. Quignon, Coop, all those young guys worked.
Yeah.
They worked. So that's the formula it's been for the Birds, especially over the last couple of years. But now those guys are getting older who did pan out, and you need the younger guys now to pan out who you've been drafting and who you will draft. They got to work out now. And if the cycle can continue, we're Titletown over here. All right?
Titletown you're going with. All right, well, relax.
A little naive.
Naive Nick. He's getting excited. He's excited, Nick.
You know, I'm an excitable guy.
He is excited. But we got on this conversation about the defense because we were talking more about the offense and that a lot of people are overreacting to the struggles, if you even want to call it that. It's practice. But all of the negativity that's coming from certain members in the media about practice. And we were saying you got to stop overreacting. Let's go to the phones because Rodney from Philly wants to weigh in on that very thing about people overreacting to training camp. Rodney, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Bill? First-time caller. I just wanted to say I think you're 100% spot on. People are overacting with the Hurts thing and the interceptions. It's a new offense. And, you know, in 2024, he didn't throw any interceptions all training camp. And that was a big deal, too. So I feel like whatever the man does is going to be a big deal around here.
Yeah, Rodney, it's crazy, man. The conversation with Jalen is broken. But are you expecting a big season? You think he's going to get acclimated well eventually to this offense and have a big year?
Yeah, I honestly think he's going to have an MVP caliber season. I think it's going to be very similar to 2020 where, 2022 where, he's kind of the focus point of the offense and, he's going to use his legs a little bit more. He's looking a little slim. I just think he's cutting loose in practice to see what he can get away with. And actually, Kevin O'Connell spoke on that not too long ago about, hey, I don't care about picks in practice because if you can't do it in practice, if you can't see what you can do in practice, I'm not going to know what you're going to be able to do in the game.
Yeah, great stuff from Rodney right there. Appreciate
it.
First time caller, too, dropping knowledge on us like that. Yeah, I mean, look, the crazy thing is he's right. You go back to 2024, and the narrative coming out of training camp was that Hurts wasn't really taking risks and wasn't really throwing a lot of interceptions. Do you remember what happened to start that season in 2024?
What happened?
Jalen Hurts was a turnover machine. So although he wasn't a turnover machine in training camp, did that mean anything for the start of the 2024 season?
Absolutely not.
The first 4 games of the year, Hurts was turning the ball over a lot, and then they ended up having their early bye in week 5, and they kind of revamped things, and then Hurts didn't turn the ball over pretty much at all the rest of the way.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think this is just an NFL thing. The first 4 weeks are the preseason. They just are. Like, they are for the starters to figure things out, get on the same page. I'm not reading into week 4. By like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I'm not reading too much into it because so much can change over the course of the season. We've seen it happen time and time and time again. We've seen teams start 1-3, 2-2, and look like shaky. I don't go by the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I mean, look, you said 2-2. That's exactly how they started the season in 2024.
Right.
And I remember saying it. I was on the midday show. It was me, Mike, and Ray. And I remember saying at the bye week, like, speaking of naive Nick, I remember using that exact word. I said, were we being naive, expecting this team to come out with a new offensive coordinator, with a new right guard, with a lot of new pieces offensively, including Saquon Barkley was new that year? Like, were we expecting them to just week one, boom, no growing pains at all? No, of course not. And what happened? You start out 2-2. You got an early bye. You kind of refocus, and then the rest is history. They went on one of the most magical runs in NFL history, what they did down the stretch. They won – what they win down the stretch of that season? They went crazy. They started 2-2, and then I don't think they – outside of maybe one loss to Washington, didn't they go crazy the rest of the way and all the way to the Super Bowl?
Pretty much. That's pretty much what happened.
So, listen, yeah, it's football, man. It is football. And, I mean, one of the issues I think we've had in this town, and it's been a good issue, the Eagles have had such tremendous winning streaks with Jalen Hurts and Sirianni. That's not usually the norm. Like, you go back to 2021, they had a long winning streak. In 2022, they were unbelievable. 2023, they start the season 10-1. 2024, I told you, after the bye, 2-2. They have this long winning streak. Like, it's almost like we become spoiled where you don't realize that's not normal in the NFL. Like, you usually don't just go undefeated 8-9 weeks in a row. I mean, think about it. If you go 3-1 every 4 games, you're finishing the season, what, 13-4?
Yeah.
I did my math right?
I think so.
3-1, and another 3-1, you're 6-2. Another 3-1, you're 9-3. Another 3-1, you're 12-4. Yeah, and you win. You're 13-4.
13-4.
Look at that.
Dude,
math.
you've been on fire with the math facts today. So I can't do it that fast.
I'm pretty good with math. Now, reading comprehension, that was usually where I struggled, and then I became a lawyer.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense at all. You know what else doesn't make sense? The idiots overreact in the training camp. You can weigh in, get your voice memos in, get your texts, get your calls in. We hear you coming up at 525, 610-632-0975. But earlier today, it was announced Jeffrey Lurie will be going into the Eagles Hall of Fame. Now, he's accomplished a lot during his tenure. We'll take a look at some of it. But what could be next? Potentially a new stadium? Governor Shapiro in attendance last night weighed in on it. We'll talk about it coming up next. Unfiltered, 97.5, The Fanatic. Miami boy's voice. No Ricky Bo this week as he's on vacation, but he turned 57 today. And I'm not revealing anything I shouldn't reveal. It's on his Wikipedia page, and I saw people saying it on Twitter. I said this earlier, though, man. The guy looks good for 57. Like, some would even argue when I saw people saying it on Twitter, he looks better than I do, and I'm only 43. He certainly looks better than Nick, and Nick's like 26.
Oh, come on.
How old are you?
26.
That was a good,
that was a good guess by you.
That was pretty good. I think you told me before, and I remembered it. But, yeah. I mean, I think if we're ranking, like, the hierarchy of looks on the show, Nick would be third, even though he's the youngest. And then me and Ricky are neck and neck. It depends on who you ask. If you ask the middle-aged women, they're all going Ricky Bo.
They are.
Actually, if you ask any woman, they're probably going Ricky Bo. But the only one, my wife's got my back.
She does.
My wife's got my back. That's all that matters. That's the only woman I need.
I'm in the same boat as Ray. Still trying to figure it out over here. You know? Still trying to figure it out.
You know what? The more you produce for us, maybe we could do, like, win a date with Nick or something. We could do a whole competition on here.
I don't know if I feel like it.
It'll be like, remember that show? Well, you probably don't remember. Singled Out, MTV used to do back in the day?
No, it's before my time. We'll got two old guys I'm working with here.
We'll play matchmaker. Well, Ricky Bo is single, ready to mingle. All right, let's switch gears. Enough embarrassing you behind the glass here. So earlier today, it was announced that Jeffrey Lurie is going to be inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame. Now, it's always weird when you're inducting a current owner and they're announcing it like he's not a part of the decision, but it's so well-deserved.
It's well-deserved?
Yeah.
I feel like a little early. Am I wrong there?
Oh, dead wrong.
A little early?
What's early about it?
I mean, he's still the owner. Like, he's still the main guy. Can we do it, like, after his son takes over?
Yeah, but maybe he's not. Maybe his plan isn't to turn it over to Julian just yet. Like, Jeffrey Lurie's 74. He's 74 years old. I don't know. What if he's got another 5 years left in him?
He's still kind of the face, you know? I feel like you should wait till he's done. He gives it to his son, etc.
Didn't Jerry Jones just induct himself?
That's Jerry Jones.
But didn't he just do that? Am I wrong? Was that last year?
He might have.
I thought it was. Maybe I'm making that up. I can't remember. But here's why I don't think it's too soon. Like, you look at Jeffrey Lurie. Since the year 2000, they have the fourth best winning percentage in the entire National Football League. His 20 playoff wins are second most since 2000. They've reached 4 Super Bowls, and he's one of only 5 owners. Hold on, where's this email? I want to read you this email because it's just absolutely wild when you look at some of the things he's done. He's one of 5 owners in NFL history to have earned 300 combined victories, 4 Super Bowl trips, multiple Super Bowl championships, and he has the second most wins, 315, by an owner since the league's salary cap began in 1994. Like, what else does the guy need to do? And then put all that aside, everything he's done as far as the Eagles team has gone, he's raised hundreds of millions of dollars for autism. Like, the guy has been everything you would want in an owner in a city. Jeffrey Lurie has been.
Yes, I don't disagree. I think he should be in. But I feel like he should do it when he has stepped aside. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I don't agree. I feel like it's awkward, like, inducting yourself. That's what it feels like. Doesn't it? Like, oh.
Yeah, but I guess there's 2 schools of thought. The guy's 74 years old. Now, hopefully he's as healthy, what do they say, as healthy as a horse?
As ever.
Healthy as a horse?
Healthy as ever.
As healthy as could be, but he's 74. Now, we did see in the last 2 days, I don't even want to put this out there, but Dolly Parton passed away at 80. Tim Curry today, right, passed away at 80 years old. So, I mean, Jeffrey Lurie, you never know. He's 74. He probably wants to be able to enjoy it and enjoy the ceremony and enjoy his name hanging in the rafters, and he deserves it.
I hear you. But, like, there's been talk that his son will eventually take over, etc. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like the timing's a little weird. That's all. Because it's no doubt about it. He is the greatest owner in Eagles history. It's not even close. Not even a comparison.
He might be the greatest owner in Philadelphia.
He might be. He probably is.
Like, I loved Ed Snyder. Loved him. But I think maybe you'd put Jeffrey Lurie ahead of him. Now, where Ed Snyder might get a little bit of the benefit of the doubt is he's the one who actually brought Flyers hockey to the city. He was a big reason that we even have a hockey team. But I know a lot of people kind of soured on the end that, like, Ed kept trying to duplicate the success of the 70s, but
I just feel like there's more to do with Jeffrey, right? Like there's still time to he could add to it. You know what I mean?
Well, he can add to it, and
He
one
can
of
add
those
to it this
things
year.
might be the stadium.
Right.
So let's transition to this. So we knew that the Eagles were interested in potentially putting a new stadium in. They sent out a survey to the season ticket holders a few months back, almost a year ago now, about some questions that they had, and they're doing a full survey. Well, Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, was at the Eagles open practice last night, and he acknowledged that they are looking at new stadium ideas, but he guaranteed it would be in the city of Philadelphia. Here's Josh Shapiro.
Well, look, I appreciate the way Don and Jeffrey and the entire franchise are thinking really critically about what they want for the future of a home for the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's what I can tell you for sure, it's going to be in the city of Philadelphia. And we'll work with the Eagles once they determine what it is that they're interested in doing. But I appreciate the thoughtful and deliberative approach that they've taken to this process. I mean, the process is exactly the way it should be. The Philadelphia Eagle organization is thinking about what they want for the future. And we know that future is going to be here in Philadelphia. They're going to think about what they want as a home for the next 30, 40, 50 years. And then we'll have a conversation when they're ready to have that.
So there's Josh Shapiro. So, I mean, he's acknowledging they're still trying to figure out what they want in a stadium. He didn't guarantee it'd be in South Philadelphia. He just guaranteed it would be in Philadelphia.
In Philly.
So, I mean, there's many locations throughout the city that it could potentially be. But I feel like what most fans are interested in, and we don't know the answer yet, a dome or not a dome? Like, I think that's the big question now. Because, look, if we're being honest, there's nothing wrong with the link. Like, there's nothing overly spectacular about the link, but there's nothing wrong with the link either. It's a nice football stadium. But if you want to be able to host Super Bowls and Final Fours and maybe some of the bigger events in the really dog days of winter, the cold winter days, you probably need a dome. And I got to be honest, I'm all for a dome. I'm not one of – and I played football. I'm like a football meathead. I love football. I don't care about it's got to be in the cold weather. Yeah, I got to freeze my ass off come January and sit in the crowd. Like, I don't think it gives any competitive advantage to the home team. All these guys have played in cold weather in their careers. Did it really matter when 2002, I still have freaking nightmares of Rondé Barber taking that ball back the other way. All those, Tampa Bay can't win in the cold weather. Can't win in the cold weather. And they crushed the damn Eagles last game at the Vet. Doesn't matter.
Why not a retractable roof?
Retractable?
Get the best of both worlds.
You know what? Now, here's the thing, though, with the retractable roof. I agree with you. But doesn't the NFL decide whether the roof is open or closed? Who makes that decision?
It doesn't matter. At least you'll have the option. You'll have the option. I'm sure when it's nice out in September and October, they'll leave it open. But like when it becomes December, etc., in the playoffs, you get more games here. Yeah, you utilize the dome.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Who decides?
So the home team decides the position of a retractable roof, but they must notify the league 90 minutes before kickoff.
What if the fans voted as they walked into the stadium?
There you go.
What if they took a poll? What if the fans voted for what they wanted per game?
Well, it would always make me laugh. Like, John Kincaid, when he used to be on the mornings, would always push, like, you can't have a dome. You got to be cold weather. And they'd be like, bro, you sit in the press box with me, and they keep the damn windows closed.
Yeah.
Like, when you're in the press box, the windows are closed. It's heated. We got a food buffet behind us. Like, don't act like you're out there with the fans freezing your butt off.
Look at how awesome the All-Star game being here was. Look at how awesome the World Cup being here was. Don't you want more of that? More of the same of that? Like having the Super Bowl here, having like Final Fours here. Like that would be awesome. Philadelphia would go nuts for that stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be great. And we're on YouTube today because we're not on NBC. And I see someone saying, but does a Super Bowl even benefit the fans? And it does. I mean, number one, it allows fans to take part in all of the Super Bowl festivities, which if you've never been to a city where a Super Bowl is, it's awesome. Like,
it's the best.
Yeah, there are so many cool things to do at a Super Bowl. Nick knows he was out in San Francisco this past year. But like I've been fortunate enough to go to 2 Super Bowls, and there's so much to do. But even put that aside, the amount of revenue that it generates for the city of Philadelphia and all of the businesses.
Small businesses.
It's phenomenal. Like, look, the World Cup being here. Think about all the revenue that got generated from that. Think about the city of Philadelphia being in the spotlight again. I'm all for a roof, a dome. I think Nick's probably right. Why not the best of both worlds? Have the retractable dome. But you could do some really cool things. And I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. They guaranteed it would be in Philadelphia, but it is interesting. Might not be in South Philadelphia.
I'd prefer it to be in South Philadelphia.
You like all the arenas near each other?
Keep it there. You could have the retractable, but keep it in South Philly. All right?
Well, you could also put it where? Like, isn't the Northeast Philly a potential option?
Just put it in the complex. Just keep it in the complex. Have the retractable. That would be my dream scenario.
Well, it was interesting when the Sixers were considering going to Chinatown, and then they decided to stay down in South Philadelphia. Roger Goodell, this was kind of like a footnote in one of the articles. Like, Goodell was involved in those conversations, which signaled to me that the Eagles were probably involved in those conversations to keep the complex. And are they going to really blow it up and build some more things down there, make it like the Battery in Atlanta, like that type of thing? So we'll see. Definitely something to monitor with this stadium. You still got the link this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start to hear some things within the next year about what the future plans are for the Eagles Stadium. All right, well, here's what we got coming up next. We got another What Movie Wednesday. But my man Nicky Earnshaw is known for coming up with some pretty interesting things to discuss. He does it down at 97.3 ESPN with our buddy Mike Gill, who Mike Gill hosts weekends here for us at the Fanatic, but he's an afternoon host down the shore. He always has Nick on. You call him Nick's Nuggets. You're going to drop some of these for us today.
I got a couple.
All right, so we'll get to that coming up next. We got another What Movie Wednesday, and we'll also get back to the Eagles conversation, but I'm looking forward to it. Naive Nick coming up next, Unfiltered, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
As we just talked about, could there be a new stadium soon? I'm Nick Earnshaw with your Fanatic Sports Update. The buzz surrounding the Eagles Stadium situation is back to the forefront of the conversation as a notable name just spoke about it last night at the Eagles open practice.
Well, look, I appreciate the way Don and Jeffrey and the entire franchise are thinking really critically about what they want for the future of a home for the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's what I can tell you for sure, it's going to be in the city of Philadelphia.
That was Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro as he had some thoughts on the future of where the Eagles will play. It seems like it's going to still be in the city of Philadelphia. The audio courtesy of CBS Philly. 76ers buzz continues as well as fans have been going down for the past 2 days to Xfinity Mobile Arena to get their new gear. That is still 6 today with all the brand new LeBron, Jaylen Brown jerseys, and more. This update is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal where you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. That's Straight Talk Wireless on Verizon's 5G network, and find it exclusively at Walmart and straighttalk.com. I'm Nick Earnshaw on your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
on Unfiltered. Phillies are kicking the crap out of the Mariners in Game 3 of the series. So don't even watch it. I mean, they're up big. What's the point?
Couple of home runs.
Hang out with us, man. Hang out with us. So Bryce Harper's on-base streak extends to, what, 29?
Correct.
So he's continuing to grow on that career high. Yeah, he's still on base, even though he didn't actually get on base because he just rounded them, headed all the way home on his home run. It counts. So Bryce Harper continues to do his thing. But coming up right now, our man Nick Earnshaw is usually on down the shore with Mike Gill, and he usually brings out what Mike Gill calls his nuggets. But you're going to bring us some fun facts today. Now, I have no idea where these are going. These are all sports-related?
All sports-related. In some capacity.
All right, some sports related. Do we have like a music bet or anything, or no? Because we haven't done this before.
We haven't done it before. We'll get a bet for the next one. How about that?
Nah, don't work.
The Phillies, we'll get one of those.
The Phillies doesn't work.
It's so easy you could do it in your underwear.
It is.
Yeah, it's so easy you could do it in your underwear.
All right.
What do you got?
I got a couple of things. So before we came on the program, Bob Myers actually spoke again. We sat down on a podcast. Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and I'll tell you what, there was a couple nuggets in there, to say the least. And here's what he had to say regarding when they got Jaylen Brown and how it all took place. Take a listen to this.
I can't presume I can't sit here and say why they did what they did. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Why did we do what we did? We thought that youth, we thought that his game, his leadership, Jaylen, you know him, I know you're friends with him. We needed an edge, and I think Jaylen Brown sets an edge. And you need to win a championship, guys that are of that ilk, I think, that are comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
And he is one of those. And so the deal came down, and then, I didn't know Jaylen at all. Not like you guys probably know him with the deal. I talked to him the day after, and I just said, listen, don't ever underestimate that you're a champion and that there's power in that.
All right. So with that being said, did you listen to the beginning of that?
I did.
Did you hear what he said?
They needed an edge?
No.
That
the
part of it?
beginning part of that was they don't know why the Boston Celtics did what they did.
That part
so
of it.
that was where I'm listening to that, and I'm like, hold up. Why on earth does Bob Myers not know why the Boston Celtics did what they did? So that just tells me right there, no one has a clue what the Boston Celtics were doing. And I don't know if Brad Stevens knew what he was doing because no one can understand the reasoning behind this whole thing. The fact a smart guy like Bob Myers, president of basketball operations, or president of sports, I should say, of the Sixers, is saying that? He doesn't even know why they did it. That, to me, was unbelievable that came out.
President of sports for Harris Blitzer,
yes.
Not just the Sixers, the Commanders, the Devils, the Sixers. No, but listen, were you listening when we had the guy from Boston up our sister station up in Boston, the Sports Hub? And we asked him, like, why are the Celtics doing this? And he said it's all because they have terrible ownership now. And it was about just saving money. Paul George only had 2 years left. Jaylen Brown has 3, and they knew they were going to have to give Jaylen Brown another big contract. And according to our buddies up at the Sports Hub who covered the Celtics every day, they said this was purely a money decision. It was a way to save cash, and it was ridiculous. They were not happy about it in Boston. Now, Bob Myers isn't going to come out and say that, right? He's not going to say, oh, well, ownership just wanted to save money.
But he doesn't know, Bill. He has no idea why they did it. Like,
it
he
doesn't
can't
make
understand
sense.
because, I mean, remember, they were in the conversation with Giannis Antetokounmpo, that trade, with the Milwaukee Bucks. There was conversations, reports about that came out. The fact that they can't understand why they would do this deal, that is mind-boggling to me. The fact he said that, even just a little nugget right there, I can't believe that.
No, that's good stuff. So Bob Myers goes on with Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady.
Correct.
We actually played a clip of them yesterday. Tracy McGrady was saying that an MVP carries more weight than a championship. Did you see that clip circulating?
I did see that
yesterday?
Yeah, it was prior to the episode coming out.
So prior to that. But here's the other thing that I loved about that clip. Not only does he say that he doesn't know why the Celtics traded him, the part where he says we needed a guy with edge.
Yep,
right?
That was my second part.
We needed that added to this team. Well, think about this. You think Jaylen Brown's got a little bit more edge that the Celtics basically said we're getting rid of you and nobody knows why? And he's looking there saying, wait, I won a title for you. I was a finals MVP for you. I'm coming off arguably my best season, best regular season as a professional with the Celtics. And you're not only going to discard me, you're going to send me to a rival in the Sixers. Like, you talk about bringing in a player with edge. Jaylen Brown already had edge. Now, this is going to be a whole different level of edge to this guy.
It's going to be a whole different Jaylen Brown. Like, I feel like he's going to take even another step. He's already won an NBA Finals MVP. And the fact he's with LeBron and all these guys, I mean, there is an edge, like, galore with him. I can't wait.
Get excited.
Oh, I'm going to get excited. You know, we were talking during the break. About the 76ers. They are one of my most favorite topics to talk about. And I nearly cried the day Jaylen Brown nearly crashed my car as well. And when and when he signed too. Oh, man.
It should be awesome, man.
That was great. And the fact that, we have this on Boston, and they don't know why that he was traded here. No one knows why he was dealt. And then also the fact you came back down 3-1. You came back down 3-1. We finally have a couple of things on the Boston Celtics.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest here, though, you go back to that series where they come back 3-1. Who knows if this trade happens, if that series doesn't go
Doesn't
that way,
happen. It
right?
won't happen.
Because not only did you knock the Celtics out and make them, I guess, rethink their future, Paul George was great in that series. So did that convince Boston that, hey, maybe PG's got a little bit left in the tank? We'll make the trade for Paul George. Dude, everything that happened, we're sitting here today, August 26th, and we're excited for a Sixers regular season for the first time in maybe a decade. So you getting me excited too, Nicky Nuggets.
I'm all over the place with that one. All right, I got a second one for you, okay? I saw this story yesterday. It was in Crossing Broad, and then I went and scoured it out on the X platform as well. See Larry Boa? He's on Twitter.
I saw a little bit of this.
I've noticed this throughout the times, being on the X platform, being on the Bird app, whatever it's called, X, whatever. Larry Boa was having trouble with his Wi-Fi, and it seemed like he was a little upset, took to social media to get the support services of whatever his Wi-Fi provider was. And it took him about close to 10 tweets to get this, figured out, resolved, and for someone to get back to him. And he was going absolutely nuts on Twitter. So with that being said, have you ever on social media contacted a service to try and get the support through the DM as like, you're a little old, Billy, Bill, you are old, Ricky's old.
What an idiot.
You guys are a little old. Did you ever go on the Bird app to go and try and figure something out?
I was with you until you took a shot at my age here. Naive Nick over there, 26 years old. I did do it one time, and it was a big rental car company. I had given them a deposit. Now you put like a deposit down. It was overseas or whatever, and months were going by without them releasing my deposit. So when I reach out to them, I kept getting the runaround where they were saying, well, that particular rental agency hasn't yet told us about the car. I'm like, it's been over 3 months and I haven't gotten, it was a pretty substantial deposit. I went on social media, I tagged them, and I said, what the hell is going on with that company? And I laid out what happened. Do you know within 2 hours they gave me my deposit back?
I'm just saying, it took a little longer for Larry Boa yesterday.
Dude, it's the power of social media. They don't want to look bad online. They don't want you to attack them online. So Larry Boa went after who? It was Verizon not getting his.
Yeah, his Wi-Fi was down, and he was still going back. He was kind of fighting with them a little bit. He was having a Twitter beef with them about his Wi-Fi on the X platform. It's a little boomer thing to do, I see my parents.
I don't know if it's a boomer thing to do, to go after him on Twitter.
It's a little boomer-ish. Like you and Ricky, I could see you've already done it. I will never do that.
Dude, you got to give him credit. Larry Boa, 80 years old.
He's kicking.
And he's using freaking Twitter to argue. To get his wireless back. I think that's phenomenal.
It is. It's something I could see you and Ricky doing, though. I'm just saying. I could see it happen.
Taking shots. You know what? Speaking of Ricky, should we try to call Ricky Bo?
You know what? I should try and call him.
All right, so Ricky Bo's birthday is today. He's on vacation out in Hilton Head. Yeah, I mean, like right now, he's probably getting ready for dinner or something. We might be able to get him. Do you have his cell?
Yeah, I got his cell.
All right, try to call him live on air. Hopefully he doesn't answer cursing. Just have the dump button ready. All right, we're going to try to call the birthday boy. If he answers, we'll sing to him.
All right, we'll do it. Let's do it.
All right, let's try to get him on. All right, so yeah, Ricky Bo, 57 years old today. The guy looks good for his age. I'll tell you that. He looks good just in general, our man Ricky Bottalico. So we're going to try to call him live on air right now. We still got We Hear You coming up at 5:25. We got another What Movie Wednesday coming up this segment. Can you put it? Nick's trying to call him. Can you put it on the air so it rings on air? All right, we're going to try to get this to ring on air for our birthday boy.
It's so easy, you could do it in your underwear.
All right, is it ringing? What are you doing back there? You talk about a boomer. What are you using, a rotary phone back there? With how long it's taken you to try to dial out here? You got him?
It went right to voicemail.
All right, try
He's got us on DND.
Try it one more time. He's probably listening. He's putting it on ignore for us. Let's see. We're going to try it. We're going to try it live on air. It's going right to, how about that? This guy, Ricky Bo.
What an idiot.
All right, let's see. What do we got? Right to voicemail again? That SOB. Putting us right to voicemail. He probably knew we were going to try to call him today on his birthday. I forget it then, Ricky Bo. Yeah, we're not going to wish him a happy birthday then. Not going to. Addison's trying to call him too on a cell phone. Maybe he'll answer for you. He probably has the station blocked because he knows that we're going to do this. All right, so Ricky Bo.
Right to voicemail. Right to it.
I'm going to try to get him tomorrow. Because he did tell me he wanted to try to zoom in on Thursday down there. So, all right, good stuff, Nikki. Very good stuff. I'm looking forward to listening to that podcast. So they just dropped it right before we came on air. Bob Myers going on with Carter and McGrady. So we'll hear what he said on that. But we spent a lot of time today not only talking about the Phillies, but talking about the Eagles and the level of patience that you should have. Did he answer? No, he didn't. He's on the phone with Addison. We just tried to call him. Are you kidding me? Ricky Bo?
I mean, this is ridiculous. We try calling him. He doesn't answer.
Let me see here.
And
you have
then
him
all
on
of a
speaker?
sudden, this is unbelievable.
Hold on. Can you hear him on the air? I got the microphone right up to the phone.
I got you, ass.
All right, I got you on the radio, so just be careful here. Why didn't you answer the phone when we called?
Ass, you're a donkey.
Why didn't you answer the phone when we called you?
Because it said the number and it said United States. It didn't say who it was.
All right, whatever, man. I wanted to call and sing happy birthday to you, but forget it then.
Good. I don't want to hear happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Ricky.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, brother. All right, everyone wants to know, how's the golf game?
It hasn't been a lot of that. I told you why, but I will get out tomorrow.
All right, well, we may try to bother you tomorrow, too. Enjoy it, brother. I'll call you after the show. Can't believe it. He answers for Addison. Did he drop a love you bye? I think he dropped a love you bye. Did you hear that?
Oh.
How cute was that, Ricky Bo? All right, so Ricky Bo, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, 57. I guess that's BS, though. When he said that when you called, it didn't come up with the number, it comes up with the number. You know it's the Fanatic calling you.
Twice.
Yeah, he's full.
Twice.
He answers right for Addison when she calls, though. He's probably like, oh, Addison's wishing me a happy birthday. Let me answer.
Yeah, these two numbnuts on the air.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Bastard. All right, there he was, Ricky Bottalico. All right, so we had a lot of Eagles conversation. We hear you coming up at 5:25, so I'm looking forward to hearing what people have to say about if you're willing to allow the growing pains to start the season. But it's also What Movie Wednesday, and in honor of our man Ricky Bo, we're doing movies with a hothead, someone who's got a temper. So far, we've done Happy Gilmore. We did The Avengers with the Incredible Hulk. We just did Dodgeball with White Goodman. Is that his name?
Yes, correct.
With White Goodman. So we're going to have another chance coming up right now. We're giving away 4 4-packs of tickets to Villanova football against William & Mary on Friday night. That's Villanova Stadium, 6 o'clock. Best part, $2 beers, $2 hot dogs for the entire first quarter. The way we play, the rules are simple. We are going to play a clip of a movie. If you know it, all you got to do is text it. 610-632-0975. Here we go.
Smokey, this is not Nam. This is bowling. There are rules.
Hey, Walter, come on. It's just, hey, man, it's Smokey. So his toe slipped over a little, you know? It's just a game, man.
This is a league game. This determines who enters the next round robin. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but I wasn't...
Am I wrong?
Yeah, but I wasn't over. Give me the marker, dude. I'm marking an 8.
Smokey, my friend, you're entering a world of pain.
Walter, man.
You mark that frame an 8, you're entering a world of pain.
I'm not...
A world of pain.
All right, text the name of the movie, 610-632-0975. Coming up, we will give you the answer, and we got We Hear You, the best voice messages of the show. Do not go anywhere. Unfiltered continues. 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A new stadium soon. I'm Nick Earnshaw with your Fanatic Sports Update. The buzz surrounding the Eagles Stadium situation is back to the forefront of conversation as a notable name spoke about it at the open practice last night.
Well, look, I appreciate the way Don and Jeffrey and the entire franchise are thinking really critically about what they want for the future of a home for the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's what I can tell you for sure, it's going to be in the city of Philadelphia.
That was Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro as he had some thoughts on where the future of the Eagles will play, and he seems to think it's going to be in Philadelphia. That audio courtesy of CBS. Philly 76ers buzz continues as fans can still go down to Xfinity Mobile Arena for about 40 more minutes for the second day in a row to get their new LeBron and their Jaylen Brown gear. Also, Tanner Banks will start a rehab assignment for the Phillies. This update is sponsored by Audible. Audible makes the traffic less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter. Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com. I'm Nick Earnshaw, and you're home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Such a good jam. This one gets me every time. Little Regulators. Nate Dogg, Warren G on the streets trying to consume. So are you too young for this song, or do you appreciate Regulators?
I appreciate it.
It's a good jam, dude.
It's good.
It's a really good jam. What kind of music you into, Nikki?
A little bit of hip hop, more so 2010s, and then classic rock. Those are my two genres. I do pop too. I'm kind of all over the place.
I'm all over the place as well. I'm just not a big country music fan, but I'm all over the place.
I'll do a little country.
Now, when you say
not a lot.
2010s hip hop, you like 50 Cent type stuff?
No, that's before me.
That's early
like
2000s.
Drake, Future, Meek, Travis Scott. That's my lane.
That's 2010s.
Logic.
Yeah, you're right. 50 Cent, DMX, that's all like early 2000s.
Lil Uzi, Philly guy.
Yeah, I got you. All right, we're going to have to mix that into the repertoire here a little bit. Now, people on our YouTube chat are telling me, like, come on, Bill, that's Mike McDonald. That's Michael McDonald, not Nate Dogg and Warren G. Yeah, I mean, McDonald had, I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. It was the same beat, but they sampled it for Regulators. And you ever hear the remix? My wife hates it, but they do the remix where it's Regulators, and then all of a sudden the chorus comes in, and it's like, I keep forgetting we're not in love.
I've seen. Yeah, the remix is good.
But she's like, it doesn't make any sense.
The songs don't need to
it doesn't make any sense. I love it, though. I love it. All right, good stuff on the YouTube chat. We just had our What Movie Wednesday, our last one of the day. That one was The Big Lebowski. I have not seen The Big Lebowski in probably 20 years, but that is a cult classic, right? Like, people are obsessed with The Big Lebowski. So if you got it right, you qualify. We'll announce our 4 winners at the end of the show. But now, one of my favorite parts of every show, we do it twice a show. We hear your best voice messages from all of you. Let's hit it, Nick.
Now.
Coach is already elite. He does have some things to work on like anybody does.
You better just keep sticking your foot in your mouth, and before you know it, you'll be a single man again.
Yeah, I believe in the fighting Phils. They don't have fighting in their name for nothing.
Wake me up when September ends, because these groups of Phillies players have always disappointed.
We hear ya.
We hear you. Always brought to you by Rycor Heating and Cooling, delivering high-efficiency heating and cooling solutions across the greater Philadelphia area, New Jersey, and the Delaware Valley. Visit RycorHVAC.com. Give them a call, 1-855-MY-RYCOR, to get your free consultation. Rycor, we know how. What do we got, Earnshaw?
Yeah, Josh Hart's not going to backtrack on being a dope. And another thing, what is it with all these Knicks fans thinking that, their team is going to win back-to-back championships? They win one championship in 54 years, and all of a sudden they're the best team in the NBA? Well, they were last year, but there's a new sheriff in town. And the name of this sheriff is the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, listen, the New York Knicks, I hate the Knicks fans. I do. They were a very likable team, though. Like, the way they played. If Philadelphia had that style of basketball like the Knicks had last year, we would have loved it. But I agree with the caller. I can't imagine that the Knicks are going to be able to repeat as champs. It's not easy to repeat in the NBA.
It's been years since anyone repeated.
Yeah, it's not easy, and I don't think a team that plays the way the Knicks play are going to be able to duplicate that. I mean, they play with physicality. That's what we like about them. But I don't think they're going to be able to duplicate that in year 2, especially in an Eastern Conference that's going to be a lot tougher than it was last year. Like, look, we love to rag on Boston because of what they did with Jaylen Brown. I still think the Celtics are going to be a good team. I think the Sixers will be better, but I think the Celtics will be a good team. The Miami Heat are going to be a good team. Yeah, the Knicks will be a good team. And the 76ers are probably going to be the best team. So I agree with the caller. I don't think the Knicks are going to repeat, although I think Vegas still has them as the favorites, right?
They're still the favorites, yeah.
Let me see how close it's getting.
The Sixers are like right there, right behind them from some books I've seen.
All right, I'm on FanDuel right now. Eastern Conference champs. You got the Knicks at a plus 330, the Sixers at a plus 400, the Celtics at a plus 500, the Cavs and the Pistons at a plus 850, the Raptors at a plus 950. They got the Miami Heat tied with the Orlando Magic at a plus 1,500. They are not buying the Greek Freak, huh?
No, I don't think they have enough shooting down there. I know they got Klay Thompson, but after that, it's like, who's going to shoot the basketball?
Yeah, but Klay Thompson's a couple years past his prime, man. But, yeah, I mean, look, I forgot about the Cavs, too. As much as I'm not a huge James Harden fan, they'll be a good regular season team. They will.
They'll be solid.
And the Pistons, I mean, are they going to be able to duplicate what they've been doing?
The East will be better this year.
Is Tobias still on the Pistons?
No, he's on the Spurs.
That's what I thought. He left. He went to San Antonio. They still got Cade Cunningham, though. He's a stud.
Yeah, they'll still be solid.
Man, Tobias is going to the San Antonio Spurs to try to.
He can't get a chip. He can't get a title. That can't happen.
If it's not the Sixers this year,
That can't happen.
The Spurs are probably my pick. Wait, let's see. What do they got the Spurs in as the NBA champs? They still are behind OKC. OKC plus 230, Spurs plus 280, and then a massive drop-off. Knicks plus 900, and your 76ers plus a G. Crazy. All right, what else we got?
What does Josh Hart know about Philadelphia sports? He went to school on the main line. It's not like Jay Wright had his guys coming down in the city to know about Philadelphia sports. If it was coming from Jalen Brunson, different story. Josh Hart is Clarence from 8 Mile, the fake tough guy at laying on the ground, faking an injury so the refs can look for a hostile act, twirling his finger, trying to get a review on every foul. Josh Hart will find out what kind of sports town Philly is when he's booed like Embiid is booed in the Garden.
Yo, the Clarence from 8 Mile pull? That's tremendous right there. You remember that?
Yes, I've seen 8 Mile. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they're in the battle, and he called. I think his name was like Papa Doc or something like that. And he's like, "Your name is Clarence. He went to private school." All that. What a pull right there by our man with that call. But he's not wrong. I mean, Josh Hart coming after Philadelphia for not being a true sports town. When you're out on the main line at Villanova, you don't necessarily get a full flavor for the city of Philadelphia. I mean, I think I've told this story before. Like, my dad was a Philly cop for over 30 years.
Right.
He retires from the Philadelphia police, and he becomes the chief of police out in Radnor. I mean, you talk about the difference going from Philly PD to Radnor PD. Come on now. Come on now, Josh Hart. That's a great call right there. Clarence, that's his new name. Clarence. All right, what else we got?
Yo, Bill and Nick, Jim from Satterton here. You want to know who I trust in that bullpen outside Duran? I don't have trust for anybody, but if I had to pick a guy, I would go with Bolin. But here's something I think about looking into the future. What if you could find a team that would, say, take half of Trey Turner's contract, trade him away, and keep Bohm and Stott for the long term? Because I'll tell you right now, Trey Turner is a waste of time. He's not a Philly guy. He has failed over and over and over again here. His disappointments far exceed his successes. And he even won the batting title last year. That was like being the best ugly woman in an ugly woman contest. No offense to ugly women out there. In fact, if you have an ugly woman who can hit, have her play shortstop for the Phillies. She can't field anywhere. Anyway, I'd look at moving Trey Turner if it's possible. I think he may have a no trade, which sucks, but he's just been a bad fit forever. He's got to go.
Another good call right there.
He's
man.
0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today, by the way.
Is he really? Dude, if he goes 0 for again, that'll be 5 out of his last 6 games without a hit.
What did Ichiro do for him, really? Seriously. What was that conversation? Didn't do anything.
Probably just confused him even more. But look, I mean, it's a nice thought to think that maybe they'd be able to trade Trey Turner. They're not. I mean, Turner's here for the life of his contract. There's nobody that's going to take on that contract. You're not going to be able to get creative and eat any of it. Like, it is what it is. But what you can do, and what I expect them to do this offseason, is to have the tough conversation with him about moving back to the outfield. And I don't think that he should be in the top of the lineup. He should not be your number 2 hitter right now. And if things continue this way, I know Mattingly said today, we had Charlotte Vaughns on from The Athletic. She was out in Seattle, and she said they spoke to Don Mattingly today about moving Turner down in the lineup. He said he didn't want to do it this late in the season because he doesn't want to mess with guys, which makes no sense considering you completely changed 3 different players' positions with Stott, Bohm, and Harper, but yet you don't want to move Turner down a few spots with him struggling. They're going to have to consider it. If Turner continues to struggle, you're going to have to do something because when the postseason gets here, you can't have Turner as an automatic out at the top of the lineup. You just can't, Nick.
No, you can't. And the way things are going with him right now, heading into the postseason, that concerns me a little bit. I get worried because Turner hasn't shown up in the postseason. Like, where's that Trey Turner moment? You paid $300 million for him to come here, be a huge part of this team, especially when you get to the playoffs. There has been no Trey Turner moment in the postseason. None. Zip. 0.
Yeah, so I'm looking at his numbers. Last year, Turner hit .235. In 2024, he hit .200. This is in the postseason. In 2023, he did hit .350, .347 in the postseason in 2023. And he had 3 home runs that that postseason. Did not hit a home run in the last 2 postseasons, but in 2023, he was hot as well. Man, I'm telling you.
That was 3 years ago.
But Ricky and I talk about it all the time, dude. The 2023, we felt it when it happened, that epic collapse against the Diamondbacks. But now you look back and it's like, oh, my God.
Dude, I was at Game 7. I walked out of that building ready to, cry.
That was their best chance, man. That was their best chance. And if they don't do it this year and there's a lockout next year, that might have been their last chance. And it's so depressing because you would have beaten the Rangers in the World Series.
Oh, 1,000%.
Oh, my God.
At home? You lost 2 straight at home. Don't get me started.
I know. It's terrible, dude. You not only at home when you were unbeatable. Citizens Bank Park was talked about as like a house of horrors for everybody else that had to come in. And that's when the mystique ended, too. They haven't been the same team at home since that 2023 series against the D-backs. Just haven't. All right, what do we got? One more? Let's get it in.
To all the Eagles fans that aren't willing to accept the growing pains from the Eagles offense this year in the Twitter poll, do you realize last year, the whole entire year, they had growing pains with Kevin Patullo, including up to the playoff game with San Francisco? He was overmatched. Mannion was the NFL quarterback, could tell Hurts what he can look at for coverage-wise. He knows what it takes to play in the league. You're probably the reason why they had a jail on the vet. You're probably the people that ate horse dung on camera after they won the Super Bowl, and you probably think Tanner McKee's better than Hurts and want him traded. Stop. You're a couple sandwiches short of a picnic. Jason out.
Man, we had some good calls today on We Hear You.
We Hear Yous were amazing today.
Yeah, a lot of good calls on We Hear You. We appreciate it. We always do it every single show, 3:45 and again at 5:25. Some really good stuff. But the call there at the end is about the Eagles offense. Now, look, I'll be the first to tell you, the Eagles offense wasn't good enough last year. I get it. That's part of the reason we wanted all of this change. It's just to be overreacting to what you're seeing right now, where the craziest part of it is most fans haven't seen anything. Like, that's the crazy part about training camp. Because it's not open to fans, most people haven't seen anything. Most media members who are telling you about the Eagles offense haven't seen anything. The beat reporters have been down there. Tim McManus of ESPN, Andrew DeCecco, our Birds insider, Zach Berman, Brandon Lee Gouton. Like, these guys, yeah, they have been down there, and they're reporting what they've seen. And if you're being fair, yeah, there's been good, and there's also been bad. But the bad should be expected when you're rolling out a new coordinator, an entirely new offense. And Vic Fangio said this a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week. There's been a lot of talk about how Jalen Hurts has had to adjust to a new coordinator every year. This year is the first time where they're actually going to have a brand new offense. Even though they went from Shane Steichen to Brian Johnson to Kellen Moore to Kevin Patullo, it was still a very similar offensive style with similar offensive philosophies. This is the first time in Jalen Hurts' professional career where you're asking him to completely change what he has done his entire NFL career. So you're expecting there to be growing pains. You're expecting there to be change. It's everything we wanted. Getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Doing things that he hasn't necessarily done before. So you can't look too much into practice based off of what other people are telling you. Let it play out. Let it play out. So good call there from our man. What was it? Jason, he said, right?
Yes.
A lot of good stuff today on the We Hear Yous. All right, so here's what we got coming up. We still got to announce our What Movie Wednesday winners. Who's going to the Villanova game on Friday? I'm also curious if they do go, how many $2 hot dogs are they going to take advantage of?
You got to let us know. Text in the Davis Honda text line how many you have while you're at the game.
$2 beers, $2 hot dogs. It's only for the first quarter, so you got to get it all in early.
Can you buy like 10 at once? And
I wonder how many they'll let you buy at a time.
That would be awesome.
Now, hot dogs, they probably don't have a limit. Beers, they might have a limit.
Probably.
Right? I don't think you can buy too many beers
Tag
at once.
us. Send a picture.
Yeah, tag Unfiltered. Let us know how many unfiltered hot dogs and beers you were able to get off the thing. Oh, also, as we're talking about beers and food, deal of the week this week. Amazing deal of the week. Jug Handle Inn over in Cinnaminson. You ever been over there? Incredible wings. You've been there, right, Nick?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, great wings, great food, great drinks, great place to hang out. I like going down to the basement, play a little shuffleboard down there. You ever done that downstairs?
I've been downstairs yet. But
yeah, the basement's
that
pretty
sounds
cool.
Fun.
But you can get a $50 gift card for only $25. Go Go to 975thefanatic.com/deals. $25, you get a $50 gift card to the Jug. All right, coming up next, we'll get those final Twitter poll results. We'll announce our What Movie Wednesday winners, and we'll put a bow on the show. Keep it here, Unfiltered. 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia. coming down the home stretch on Unfiltered today. What Movie Wednesday? We'll announce our winners coming up shortly. But for those who are watching on YouTube, a lot of people asking why we on YouTube today. When we are not on NBC Sports Philadelphia, we will go live on YouTube. So whenever there's a Phillies game that takes over the TV, we go live on YouTube for the remainder of the show. So appreciate everybody who tuned in on YouTube and everyone on the radio as usual. But I tell you a lot. I get people sometimes, I don't get your signal from here, or I don't get your signal from there. Remember, you can download the Fanatic app. You can listen to us from anywhere in the world. Literally, anywhere in the world, you download the Fanatic app or tell your smart speaker, play 97.5 The Fanatic, and we'll keep you company wherever you are from 2 to 6 every single day. And if you haven't yet checked out the other new shows on the station, I'm very proud of where we are right now at the Fanatic. We got a great morning show with Johnny Marks and Andrew Salciunas, a great midday show with Ray Dunne and Sean Brace, and then it leads right into me and Ricky. So Fanatic's got you covered all day long. All right, let's get our final Twitter poll results, because there's been a lot of chatter on social media about the Eagles offense. And when you're in training camp and you need things to talk about, the easy thing to talk about is Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. And when he throws an interception at an open practice, some people are going to overreact to it. But training camp ended today, and now you got one more preseason game Friday night against Cincinnati, and then, believe it or not, we're only a couple weeks away from Week 1 against the Washington Commanders. And the question I'm throwing out to everybody is, are you willing for – what was the exact question? I want to get the exact question here. Is, will you accept some growing pains from the Eagles offense to start the season? Because before we even get the results, I got Nick Earnshaw behind the glass. We both understand that there are going to be growing pains. Like, I think anyone who's expecting this team to come out Week 1 and then for 18 weeks just be firing on all cylinders and look perfect, you're being crazy. Like, not only is it the new OC, there's all the other factors. There are all the other new pieces. Like, there's going to be some mistakes. And it's not just about Jalen Hurts. See, he becomes the one that everyone talks about because that's going to drive the needle. That's going to get people to call. That's going to get the engagement, is talk about Jalen, talk about Jalen, talk about Jalen. Jalen is one piece of this, Nick. Like, Sean Mannion is going to have growing pains in calling plays. The offensive line are going to have growing pains with a new blocking scheme, with a new run game coordinator, with a new offensive line coach. There's going to probably be some growing pains from your wide receiver room. You have a rookie who's supposed to play a big role this year in Mekhi Lemon, who missed a lot of training camp. He came back from the hamstring a few days ago. It's a good sign. You're going to have growing pains from him. You might have growing pains from your running backs. As good as Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby are, they're going to be asked to do things they haven't been done before. So you're going to get them. Are you willing to accept that? I think the answer should be yes, because we all acknowledge the offense had to evolve, right? Oh, Nick's throwing his arms up back there. What's going on back there? Oh, boy.
All right. It's not the biggest breaking news in the world, but according to Charlotte Varnes, Nestor Cortez, who was signed by the Phillies last week and optioned to Low A Clearwater, has been placed on the IL.
Are you kidding me? What the hell is going on? Look,
what is that?
So it's funny because earlier in the show when we were talking about the pitching staff, we had a caller who's like, "Oh, well, maybe Nelson Cortez can be the guy, or Nestor Cortez." I keep calling him Nelson.
Nasty Nestor.
Nestor Cortez could be the guy. He's done.
I mean, what are we doing?
He's done.
What is that signing?
He's
Why?
on IL already.
IL already.
Yeah.
You saw me back here just throwing my arms up.
I saw you throw your arms up. I'm like, what is he? I thought you were just upset about the Eagles conversation.
I can be animated at times.
Overreacting. All right, so according to Charlotte Varnes, who did join us earlier today, Nestor Cortez placed on the IL. I mean, I guess at this point you can fully give up on thinking he's coming up to do anything.
There is no six-man rotation. Zero. None. No one's getting days off. Sorry.
He hasn't even pitched, though, right?
No, he was optioned to Low A.
Wait a second. So he signs a contract, a big league contract, right? How much was the contract for? Do we know?
We don't even know how much. Does it matter?
Well, I'm just wondering, like, not a bad deal for Nestor Cortez. So you haven't really pitched. You get signed by a team. It's a guaranteed deal, right? Like, baseball's guaranteed money. Dude, even if it was for a couple hundred G's to do nothing. You go to Clearwater, you get a free flight down to Florida. Now you're on IL. He's probably on the golf course now. Not too shabby for Nestor Cortez.
I mean, what are we doing? You don't get a starter at the deadline. You sign Nestor Cortez. He's right to the IL. I mean, that's what I'm talking about with Dabrowski. These little moves.
We have a good club.
These little moves that help your ball club. Those minor moves.
You got to win on the margins,
man.
man.
You got to win those.
You're right. You got to win on the margins. That's something that he's failed on. So Nestor Cortez probably not going to be seen at all this season. So, yeah, I mean, that's breaking news, Nick. That's breaking news. I'm glad you hit the sounder.
I wanted to hit the sounder. I just wanted to hit the sounder.
We don't get much breaking news on this show.
I know. That's why I wanted to hit it.
You know what's frustrating is that's the breaking news we get. Not LeBron James, that goes to middays. Not Jaylen Brown, that happened at 6:06 on my drive home.
Yeah, sorry I interrupted your diatribe.
So I don't even remember. You got me all worked up now.
I saw that, and I was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's
just such a Phillies thing to happen.
I know. It's ridiculous. All right, let's get the final Twitter poll results. Maybe this can make us feel better because it's been overwhelming throughout the show that fans are smart and willing to accept growing pains with the Eagles offense. Twitter poll stood strong for 4 hours like it does every show, thanks to Dr. Avi Donapel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. What do we got, Nick?
All right, final Twitter poll results. Will you accept some growing pains from the Eagles offense to start the season? 76% said yes, 24% said no.
All right, so I wonder the 24%, right, who are saying no, we're not going to accept growing pains. Like, what are you going to be doing week 1 or week 2? If the offense struggles a little bit, are you calling for Sean Mannion's job?
Probably tweeting like Boa at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. No, here's what I think is going to happen. You're going to get them. You're going to have the Jalen Hurts. Oh, he needs to be benched. Tanner McKee's going to run a better offense than Jalen Hurts. You're going to get that early. You're going to get that Sean Mannion is just Kevin Patullo 2.0. But here will be my favorite one. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. It's Nick Sirianni. He's got his hands in the offense. He's not letting Sean Mannion run the offense he wants. That'll be the calls that you'll get, and that'll be what people are saying.
You're defending your guy. You'll be defending him by week 2.
I know. I'm going to probably have to. I want to see if there's anyone in the comments of it. I'm not seeing anybody in the comments who have said that they're not going to accept it, and why. Most of the people are saying there's always growing pains the first 4 games of the season. Ryan Gilchrist, spot on. Joker Jr. being this dramatic over backups in the preseason. I agree. It's the backups, Birds of Broad Street. None of the starters have played. I agree. This is what I'm talking about. This is just about certain members in the media. What is it?
Who are those?
Fear-mongering? Yeah. What do they call that?
Fear-mongering.
There it is, fear-mongering.
24%?
Yeah, 24%
Who are the 24%?
I don't know. Maybe it's WIP voting on our poll.
Yeah.
Because they need to overreact the first 4 weeks.
Like,
listen,
I do that sometimes, but.
Yeah, but listen, I'm not saying that we shouldn't react. Like, if the offense doesn't look good, we are certainly going to talk about it, and we will certainly be evaluating what the issues are.
But what's your bar? Like, what is your bar of, oh, man, this is where I get a little worried. This is where I'm not going to accept. Like, after week 2, week 3, I give them the week 4.
Yeah, no, the first 4 weeks of the season, I'd like to see where things are.
But I want to see some semblance of an offense here.
No,
4 weeks.
I get it, but at the same time, like, if they come out and you're seeing halves of football where they're not completing a pass again, or, they're getting shut out the first couple weeks of the season, okay, that's different. But what I'm saying is, if there's some questionable play calls or there's some turnovers by Jalen Hurts early, like, you're going to have to understand that this is a work in progress.
A big tell is going to be the penalties. How many penalties do they have through 4 weeks? Where are they at in the rankings in the National Football League? That'll be my biggest tell to see if they're going to be able to get this thing rolling off the ground after week 4.
No, that's a good point with the penalties. I also would like to see early get into the line of scrimmage, no delay of game penalties, no late substitutions, no illegal formations. Those types of things where that just comes down to
being
the basics.
Same page.
Yeah, like just all the basics of installing a new offense. I want to see that. I'm talking about when I say growing pains, like maybe Jalen Hurts having the wrong read on a play. Maybe Sean Mannion, a questionable call inside the red zone. Like little things like that where you got to realize Mannion's never done it before. Maybe he's great. Maybe Mannion steps in week 1, and it's just like, man, this guy is a masterful play call.
He's a genius.
Right? Like Steichen was a great play call.
Yes.
Just had a feel for it. Doug Peterson in that Super Bowl season just had a feel for it. I don't know if he ever got it back after that 2017
doesn't
season.
seem like it.
But, yeah, he was phenomenal that season. Dylan just put up on our YouTube page a poll. A more legendary Philly career. Nestor Cortez with the Phillies or Frank Gore with the Eagles?
Oh, that is a great poll by Dylan.
Frank Gore. Yeah, that was when they said he signed, but then there was the legal tampering period, and then he changed his mind. He went to Indianapolis.
He switched it up.
He didn't want to play with Chip Kelly.
Nestor Cortez is a Yankee anyway. You know, like he's a New Yorker. I don't need him down here.
He was smart, though, Frank Gore. But
and a Padre.
If you missed it earlier, Nestor Cortez already placed on the IL. Hasn't thrown a ball. He's on the IL. So forget about that one. All right, let's get our What Movie Wednesday winners today. Appreciate everybody who played along. We do it every single Wednesday. Giving away four packs of tickets to the Villanova football game on Saturday night against William and Mary at Villanova Stadium. Enjoy $2 beers, $2 hot dogs through the entire first quarter. Even if you don't win, you could buy tickets at villanova.com right now. Should be a fun night over there in where is Villanova? Wayne, PA? Radnor, PA? Where's
not Philly?
No, it's certainly not Philadelphia. I haven't been on the Villanova campus in years, bro.
Vito's gonna come in and beat you up.
Yeah, he might. All right, here we go. Our What Movie Wednesday winners. Congratulations, Albert from Sellersville, Roderick from Chalfont, Joe from Langhorne, and Michael from Philadelphia. Congratulations. All of you are getting that 4-pack of tickets. Let us know how many hot dogs you eat, the $2 hot dogs, in that first quarter. All right, a big thank you to Nikki Earnshaw. I will not see you again till next week, right, brother?
Probably, yeah, next week.
All right, so no Nick Earnshaw the rest of the week. Tomorrow we got Addison Sonberg on the 1s and 2s. We'll have Brendan Gunn in from 4 to 6. Sure, we're going to do it a lot of Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers talk tomorrow like we always do. Have a great night, everybody. Appreciate you joining us. A big thank you to the YouTube chat who are with us today because we weren't on TV. We will be back on NBC Sports Philadelphia tomorrow, so no YouTube for us tomorrow. But have a great night, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.